Afternoon VC. Alright, so we're gonna get a video in here of the usual records that have come in. Had a couple come in the mail and then one large dig at Repo to show. First record, I talked about this in the last video. I had ordered the original 7-inch of the White Stripes, Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground, for permanent. They sent me the wrong copy, and I ended up, the guy they sent this one to was kind enough to get it over to me. Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground, original UK press from 2002. And this is an absolute killer single. Highly recommend finding this, picking it up, whatever copy you can get. There's the original labels. Of course, Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground is my favorite White Stripes song by far, and that's why when I saw this I grabbed it. And they absolutely kill it on that track, and it's probably to me Jack White's best song that he ever did. But the B-side on this is unreal. Stop Breaking Down, live at BBC Studios, written by Robert Johnson, and he plays it electric, Jack White does, and freaking slays it. I mean, this single is one of the best in my collection. I mean, I can listen to this all the time. That's one of the best B-sides I've ever heard on a record in my life. Just absolutely crushes it. Of course, Meg White on drums. No slouch either on this. Killer single. Wow. Very impressed with that. Got this record in, one that I've been looking for years, and had no issue waiting till one came along. I'd seen reissues a million times, but they're like usually DOL presses, which are Russian boots, or just cheap looking reissues that were overpriced. So I just waited until an original came along, and one came up on permanent cheap, so I grabbed it. It's a Batman and Robin soundtrack from 1966 on the Tifton label. It's an original copy. I'll show you the Tifton label. That's part of Pickwick Records, I think, maybe, or I don't know. There, Tifton label. Of course, it's the sensational guitars of Dan and Dale. So you have some surf guitars, but this is in essence a Sun Ra record. I think he's on organ on the Hammond organ on 4 tracks on this. I think Pat Patrick's here with him, John Gilmore. I think Jimmy Owens is on trumpet on 4 or 5 tracks on this as well. So in essence, this is a big piece for a Sun Ra collection, and one you wouldn't expect to be, a Sun Ra album, so to speak. So, and it's for the old school Batman and Robin. So there's that. And then we get to the Dig at Repo. I'd been in there, I think, last week, early, or at some point twice. And I decided that I think it was Sunday or Saturday, might have been Sunday. I think it was Sunday. I was going to go in there and, I think they're only open like noon to 5. So I went up there at noon when they opened, and I decided I was going to go through all those 7-inches for the first time. There is a shit ton of 7-inches in Repo. A lot of them he's had for decades. He's now got them filed in like filing cabinets. I've never been through the filing cabinets. I only ever really been through the little section of the more expensive 7-inches, his rare 7-inches that he keeps in one little spot. I never went through all the others. And when I found those Johnny Cash 7-inches the other day, the promos, I was like, well, maybe I should go through, because that's really all I looked at was Johnny Cash that day. Maybe I should go through the rest and see what I can pull out of there. They're usually all, quarter, 50 cents, $1. I think the most expensive 7 inches in there are like $2. There aren't many that are more. And it's all old stuff. And so I went in there to do that, and I did grab, there were a few more LPs I wanted to grab while I was in there that I had in mind, and so I grabbed those first. And the first one is Hound Dog Taylor and the House Rockers Natural Boogie on Alligator. I had picked up the other Hound Dog record, and it's killer, so I was like, okay, I need to get this one too. 180 gram reissue from, I think, 2021, from last year on Alligator. So, you know, from the original label, so really good reissue. And yeah, Brewer Phillips on guitar and Ted Harvey drums with Hound Dog. Great electric blues, you know, Chicago style. And I went back into that country section that I said I wasn't gonna go back into, and I did check out the Hank Snow section, because my friend Joe's like, dude, you need to look at Hank Snow. And they actually had quite a few. There was only one that stuck out to me, and I actually had listened to it online to see if I was going to dig it, and it's got some killer tracks on it. So it's Hank Snow, My Nova Scotia Home, and Other Early Hank Snow Favorites on RCA Camden, an original press. This was an absolute filthy monster. When I got it home, the record was completely covered in dirt. I don't know how. It looked like almost like mud had got on the record, and the record was still in the original shrink, but it was open. So it had been, I don't know if it doesn't have a lot of water. It doesn't have much water damage or any water damage, so I don't know what. It just kept somewhere where it just got absolutely filthy. But I have a groove washer kit that Teddy sent me, and it cleaned up beautifully. Just absolutely, it's an unplayed record. It just got dirty. And it was like $5. And there's some really great tracks on this. The opening track, My Nova Scotia Home, is really good, but there's a couple on the B side. Don't Hang Around Me Anymore, and The Broken Wedding Ring, like Hank putting the ladies in their place on no uncertain terms. It's pretty hardcore. Like, I mean, the one song, it's like, I mean, there's gangster rap, but this dude was yeah, laying down the gauntlet. Great record. Country, old school. And then I went back and I grabbed a few more Johnny Cash records, because I decided, I was like, I'm never gonna see these Sun records again. So I went ahead and got them. And there's songs on here I don't have. So we got Johnny Cash Greatest. And this is a first 1959 pressing on Sun. Yeah, so like these are just, when am I going to see these again? Probably never. So, and these Sun records are workhorses, just like the old Verve records and Blue Notes. Just well made. So yeah, Microgrooves, original mono, 1959. Johnny Cash, you know, the old school stuff. Really good. And this is from that collection I talked about with all the 50s and 60s records. So there's that one. That's a really good one. This one also on Sun from 1961. Now Here's Johnny Cash. Great cover on this one. This has got like Home of the Blues on it. Some other really good songs. Oh, Lonesome Me. Yeah, another Sun, that record. And then I did grab this one too because it was cheap. He had 2 copies of this because it has Ring of Fire on it, the best of Johnny Cash. And I wanted that track, so that's the opening cut on this one. Remember the Alamo. Yeah, there's a lot of good tracks on this one. It's what, the Columbia, probably a 2i. Yeah, 2i. This one's a 2i mono. I think this came out, I think this one was released in 68, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put that, that's what that here. So that was the LPs. Now to the 7 inches that I dug out of there. I got the first 2 here are going to be for my mom for Christmas. I got 2 of her favorite artists of all time, and I was very pleased to find these, and they were in the drawer, and I'm kind of surprised they were still there, but I don't really hardly ever see anybody going through the drawers in there of the 7 inches. I think of all the times I've been into repo, and there's been a lot, I've only ever seen one person with a drawer open looking through those 7 inches. So we've got Elvis Presley, Surrender on the A side, and Lonely Man on the B side, and Picture Sleeve, and you can see, you know, his guitar with Elvis Presley on it. Original copy of this on RCA Victor. I forget the year on this. I grabbed that for my mom for Christmas, and if you're watching this, don't watch. And then one of her other favorite artists, Kitty Wells, and this is Dust on the Bible on Decca, original copy of this. So very cool. That's more Bible-leaning country, I'd say. So Mom should be very pleased with that. I got a bunch more here. I think I ended up with 16 7 inches total. This one I grabbed because it was the picture sleeve, and it has one of the songs on here I know I dig, and I played it, and it fucking sounds great. This is the Beatles. I saw her standing there on the A side with I Want to Hold Your Hand on the B side, which is a slower song, and it's kind of a wanker song, but I saw her standing there, it's great. And this is fucking, I cleaned this up with the Groove Washer kit, and it plays perfect. And this was freaking cheap. I mean, look at how freaking clean that is. Someone did, however, with the picture sleeve, have a field day with a hole punch for some reason, so there's a bunch of little holes in it. Who cares? Grab that. I never see Beatles singles like that around. Of course, Repo is known for having a lot of Beatles stuff. That's kind of their claim to fame. And then I found this single on Polydor, James Brown's Stoned to the Bone, parts 1, and then some more on the B side. Original. And every one of these singles I got is on a different label. So 16 singles, 16 different labels. That's just how it worked out. It's crazy. So on Polydor. Great James Brown Soul Jam, 1973. Got Rick James, bitch, a 1978 copy of You and I on the A side. This is on Gordy, and Hollywood on the B side. I believe that's how it goes. Didn't have any Rick James in the collection, so I grabbed that, because a lot of these, what you're going to see is going to be funk and soul, because that is one of the biggest selections that he's got in those drawers, and had the best stuff still left in there. So I got that. That's on Gordy. Did find one rock one here. Faith No More Epic on Slash. It's got some writing on it, but it was, I think it was $2. And then Edge of the World on the B side. Love Faith No More, especially this early stuff. And yeah, Epic is a great tune. So I grabbed that one. And I've seen that one before. This was probably one of my favorite finds, even though it's missing the picture sleeve, and I'm glad it is, because I would have passed over it if it had the picture sleeve. It's like an awful looking 80s pink design picture sleeve, terrible, awful. But the song is great. The Fabulous Thunderbirds, Tough Enough. Love that fucking song. great rockin' tune. The B-side is Look at That, Look at That. It's from 1986 on CBS Associated Records. And that's in freaking great condition on the record. Again, missing the picture sleeve, but yeah, I wouldn't even grabbed it if it had it. This one's a really nice find. Chuck Berry from 1972. This was released on Chess. It's got My Ding-a-Ling on the A side and Johnny B. Good on the B side, which is why I grabbed that one. And these are all in great shape for singles, for old singles. Johnny B. Good. I only have just one Chuck Berry record, so I thought I'd grab this single. This is just fun stuff to jam. Got Booker T and the MGs on Stax. We've got Over Easy on the A side, and Hang 'em High on the B side. This one I still got to clean and spin this one. But I didn't have any Booker T and the MGs, but I believe this is off of the. I believe one of these songs is off of that record with the great cover that I've been looking for. So there's that. Got some more good soul, some Chicago stuff. The Shy-Lights. We Need Order, and this is a mono promo in mint shape on the Brunswick label. So it's a split A-B of that track. Dig the Shy-Lights. I've got a record of theirs, Greatest Hits, the record that actually was in Bernard Purdy's personal collection that I won from Egon, owner of Now Again. So, you know, I dug the Shy-Lights stuff, so I grabbed that. This one was really cool to find. With the original bag, Aretha Franklin, Eleanor Rigby, of course, a cover of the Beatles. On the A side, It Ain't Fair on the B side. And this one's interesting. It's got a freaking bullet hole punch through it for a promo. Good Lord. Just punched right through it. But the record's pretty good shape. Still gotta clean this one though. On Atlantic. Can you give me the year on this? It does not. But I love Aretha Franklin. I've only got a few of her records though. Grabbed this one when I saw it. This one's on mint shape. Funkadelic on the Warner Brothers label. Got Smokey, I think is the A side. And you've got Soulmate on the B side. Any Funkadelic I find, I pick up. That's like a unwritten law when digging for records. Yeah, that's a nice single. That one's a Dead Mint copy, original. All these are original copies. 1976. And I've got Sly and the Family Stone, Everyday People on Epic. Fantastic track. This one's in a little bit rough shape, but I grabbed it anyway. And it's got some writing on it. Sing a Simple Song on the B side. I don't think this is the original bag for this one, but that's all right. And then probably this is actually my favorite of the group that I found. I cleaned this and spun it on Motown. The Supremes, Nothing But Heartaches. What a fucking great song that is. Holy shit. Great horns in it, phenomenal singing. I cleaned this one up as best I could, but it's completely cracked. This record, but I got it to where it plays just fine, believe it or not. The B side is a little rough. It's got a mark on it, but I don't think this cost but 50 cents or something, so I grabbed it. And there was tape on it where the crack is. I took the tape off and I'm just surprised how beautifully this plays. I may actually try to find another copy of this because I love this song so much. What a fucking great song. Nothing But Heartaches of the Supremes. Just phenomenal stuff. What is this, 1965? Motown. And I wanted to get something on the Motown label. He had a lot of good Motown label stuff in there, but not any of the artists that I was really interested in. But I really dug that one. That's phenomenal. And then this one, this is another good one. This is on the Sue Records label. And John just showed a record from Ike and Tina Turner in his video, and I got this single, You Should Have Treated Me Right, on the A side, Sleepless on the B side. I believe that's how it goes. Yeah. Great little single right there. I'm not sure the year on that one. And then last but not least, this was a really nice one to find in great shape. I don't think it's in the original bag, but War, The World is a Ghetto on United Artists Records. And this one's minty, just brand new condition. Four Cornered Room on the B-side from 1972. Original copy of War. Came in this Far Out bag, which is cool, but I don't think it's the original bag. But that's what I dug out of there. And I think it took me about 3 hours to go through all of the 7 inches. And it was a lot of fun. I don't really think I left any behind that I'd want to go back for. So, yeah, I've done my due diligence and gone through all the 7 inches at Repo. And grabbed some great soul and funk ones for sure. A few rock ones there, as you can tell. The Beatles one, I spun it. It's really good. It sounds really good. I was very surprised because I think he even had marked on it that it's a rough shape, but it's not. I think maybe he just did a visual on it. Like I said, when I've been cleaning these up with the Groove Washer kit, it takes care of business. And they sound like brand new. It's crazy. Alrighty. Looking forward to next week. Going on a dig in south of Kakalaki with John, Digital Gramophone, meeting up with Mr. Weinbender. I think we've put out an invite to another VC member. I believe John has. Out there in, I think the guy's in Atlanta. I could be wrong. Anyway, hope you're all well. Peace.